Liverpool 1, Real Madrid 0. They outclassed them, they outperformed them, they outworked them, outrun them. More intensity, more quality, and of course, the clinical edge. And we saw a big difference in Liverpool in their last Premier League game. Subtle differences to the system. Specific players being dropped, old players coming back in. Very similar tonight with the inclusion of Wirtx, and Liverpool looked back. Liverpool were purring at times tonight, and if it wasn't for Courtois, that result could have been far more damning for the Madridsters. Spurs tonight, 4-0 victors over Copenhagen. Mickey van der Ven maybe scoring the goal of the Champions League season. Absolutely impeccable. Still playing, by the way, PSG and Bayern Munich. 2 minutes to go in that game as well. But listen, hit like buttons. Make sure you are subscribing. Make sure you have the bell notification button turned on as well. Thank you all for joining us here. Big shout out to our title sponsors of the show tonight, and that is Bally Bet, who I'm blown away by. I'm not even going to lie with you. I like a little responsible flutter. And when I say a responsible flutter, I'm a £5 here, £2 there, 10 quid there kind of guy. That's me. And Bally Bet have landed in the UK with what I consider to be a big US attitude. But what you can do if you sign up now by using that, scanning that QR code on the screen or clicking the link that's in the description or live chat. If you bet £10, you will get a £20 free bet. And listen, you can set up really easy bet builders. The odds are very simple and easy to use. And listen, it's a clean user face. Honestly, it's brilliant. It's a really, really good app if you like a little responsible flutter. You do need to be over the age of 18, and terms and conditions apply. But click on the link in our description and go and check out Bally Bets now. But more on them a little later in the show. I want to start off tonight, though. I have to start off tonight by talking about Liverpool. Liverpool, for me, Liverpool were fantastic. And they're looking back to their best. And I understand Liverpool fans watching, there'll be an instant gut reaction. There'll be an instant feeling that, oh no, we can't say we're back. We can't say we're over the worst of it. And that's because you're being honorable, you're being humble, and you don't want to tempt fate. You don't want to tempt the football gods. I get it, and I understand it. But the same tonight as against Aston Villa. We've seen it 2 games running, and seeing it 2 games running is a telltale sign. And I'm going to be honest with you. When I was sitting here, we obviously spoke about people asking Slot to be sacked. We sat here and spoke about people talking about it failing and it not working. But I did a lot of content here on the Football Terrace, on my channel, Terry Flewers TV, about calm down, don't lose your heads, relax a little bit, don't lose your minds. And I felt that was a really important message to push. Equally, Slot needed to make changes and individual players needed to improve their performances. We're going to touch on all 3 of those things right now. And this game was almost the epitome of that. Slot has made some changes. He's not exiting the midfield as much. It's a double pivot more than a single pivot for large parts of the game. Equally, both your fullbacks are not bombing forward at the same time. It's almost one up, one down. In basic form, that's what it is. So now your midfield isn't emptied, your fullback area are not emptied, meaning your centre-backs are not being exploited as much. And all defenders, no matter how good, if they're one-on-one all the time, can and will be exploited at the highest level of the game. Slot has made those subtle changes. And I see a comment here that's come through saying, Madrid are just crap, aren't they? Now, Madrid weren't crap tonight. Liverpool were brilliant. That element was on Slot, and he's made that change and he's got it right. Then you look at individual players, and there were some guys newly signed. Kirkez would be an example. Isak, who obviously was injured, but is another one. And I think for large parts, Wirtx this season, well, they just haven't been at the races. They just haven't been quite good enough. But Slot has made some changes to the team, and it's a case of, okay, well, Ekitike settled very quickly. We'll keep him in the side. Tonight, he decided to bring Wirtx in on that left-hand side, who did very well in the last European game, and that was a masterclass decision from Arne Slot, because Wirtx tonight, let me just tell you, Wirtx tonight was excellent. He was everywhere. especially in that first half. Good second half, no doubt. But I felt in that first half, he was class for Liverpool. And look, he created 5 chances. He created a really big chance that Szoboszlai should have scored. He was consistently finding really clever pockets of space where Real Madrid weren't able to pick him up. They weren't able to cope with him. His best performance in a Liverpool shirt by some distance tonight. And that will give him a lot of confidence. That will give him a lot of encouragement moving forward. There's no doubt about that whatsoever. So he was brilliant. Robertson, I was calling him Robinson the other day. Robertson, I'm making sure I say his name right, is past his best. But it was a throwback performance tonight. Absolutely impeccable for large parts of the game. Connor Bradley tonight, I thought, put in a coming-of-age performance. And it isn't the first time in the Champions League up against superstars that man has come up trumps. Absolutely phenomenal from him. I want to shout out Konate because, of course, there was a big story tonight about the homecoming of Trent Alexander-Arnold, who came on and did absolutely nothing, by the way. But Konate is linked to Real Madrid. He's had a stinker of a season up until the last few games. And tonight, again, was absolutely fantastic. Hugo Ekitike, I thought his hold-up play tonight was brilliant. But overall, the team was just together. The team was working in unison. You had the better shape, players individually performing. I love the fact you scored from a set piece. There is something beautiful and poetic. I want to check the stats on this, but I do think your goals scored in the Champions League this season is percentage-wise is about the same as Arsenal's set-piece goals in the Premier League. And remember, they're real goals. You celebrate them. Your goals from open play will come in this tournament at some point. There's no doubt about that in my mind. Therefore, it isn't a concern. But the team in unison, I thought, was fantastic this evening. You had more... I took notes of it. You had so much more speed, so much more power in your side tonight. Real Madrid couldn't cope. You were so much better than they were. It was unbelievable. And then on top of that, the intensity. Every minute of that game, from the first whistle until the final whistle, your team didn't give up. Your team didn't let up. Your team didn't stop concentrating. And I think Liverpool fans should be immensely proud of how good they were tonight, because that's what they were. They were very, very good indeed. There is no doubt about that in my mind. It was a brilliant performance on every single level. And I know Liverpool fans are not getting carried away. I know Liverpool fans are staying level-headed to a large degree. They're going to wait until the Man City game this weekend, but I think the Man City game is one that you can genuinely win. If you play with this level of, as I say, intensity, aggression, controlled aggression is how I would describe it. If defensively you're as solid as you were today, Real Madrid and City, I'm not going to say they're overly similar because they play better intricate football, I think, Man City. But they look for the same thing in terms of how they create their goals. It's to put Erling Haaland through on goal. Don't play with a crazy high line because Erling Haaland is licking his lips at it. Play with a little bit of a mid-block. Make sure you have the middle packed out where he operates. I think you could stop. I think you could get a result. I think you could get a result away at the Etihad. And really and truly, I think 3 wins on the bounce could even be two or three clean sheets on the bounce. And I think you'd have turned a corner. And I thought that it was wrong. But by the way, I don't think you need to beat Man City at their ground for the corner to be turned, because that's a game that even at your very best, you could still lose because they're a very good team, hard place to go. But overall, I felt that people writing Liverpool season off, thinking there wouldn't be changes, thinking that out-of-form players like Konate and Mo Salah wouldn't get back to their best, the idea that none of their new signings would click, I felt this was all just a massive exaggeration. The criticism in the moment, I think, was absolutely right, absolutely correct. But overall, I felt as though people were just doing too much, doing a little bit too much. But overall tonight, I just think that Liverpool was so much better than Real Madrid. And I sort of sat there and thinking a penny, you're probably going to go on to win the win in Spain, win La Liga this year. But I did think a penny for Trent Alexander-Arnold's fault. Losing in that game tonight, I thought was majestic. Now I want to shout out McAllister as well, the match winner tonight, a fantastic goal from the set piece. And I don't always like this type of analysis because I sometimes feel that it lacks substance. But the way he got to the header, the way he scored that goal, I heard the commentator say it and I agreed. It was like he wanted it more. And that stood out. It's like he wanted it more. That's what really stood out to me more than anything else. He just fought tooth and nail to get there. It was a great header, and it had to be, because this game did have the feeling of the final from 2021 or 22, whichever year it was. Has that feeling. Courtois, save. He kept on making them. And I'm sure there were some Liverpool fans sitting there in the stadium, at home, all around the world, thinking to themselves, it's going to happen again, isn't it? It's going to happen again, where this man just has a worldie. They score a goal against a runner play and get a smash and grab. And for a while, I felt that's how it was going to go. For a while, I felt that could be the outcome here. It did feel like that was plausible, like that could actually happen. But in the end, McAllister gets the goal, and then I think Liverpool went up a level. You had something to fight for. You had something to hold on for. And as I said at the beginning, in the last two games, you were just less and less and less conceding loads of open spaces, loads and loads of opportunity in games. And listen, you're never, when you're playing against a team as good as Aston Villa, when you're playing against a team as talented, full of the talent of a Real Madrid, you're going to concede opportunities. But just one big chance tonight, just 8 shots on goal and only 2 on target. And by the way, they had 61% of the ball, which is why I think if you're resolute and you're strong, you could do to Man City on Sunday what you did tonight, because they're going to have a similar level of the ball. But it was interesting watching you play tonight, because it was different from some of your other games where you really wanted to have the ball a lot. In some respects, you look better without it. And that's not a dig with you in possession. It just played into your hands. And it's going to be intriguing to see how you do this weekend. But overall, I think Liverpool are very, very close to being considered by most back on track. I always thought you would do it. Champions League campaign's open. Your season is still well and truly alive. There's no doubt about it. I'm going to end my monologue by saying this. A week ago, you got beat by Crystal Palace in the League Cup. And I, along with most of you, was critical of it. But the one thing I threw in there that I wanted to reiterate again is that your manager, for him to have been right in that decision, he had to win his next 2 games. And he's beaten Villa. He's beaten Real Madrid. If he completes that hat-trick now and beats Manchester City, who knows what happens in the Arsenal game? Who knows what happens away at Sunderland? The idea that Liverpool's season was over before it even begun, for me personally, I always thought was an exaggeration. I'd love to get your views and thoughts. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit that hype button for us, please, people. Now, speaking ahead of that game, before we go into some more comments, go into your super chats, as I mentioned earlier, we are sponsored tonight by Bally Bet, and they're an excellent company, and I like using them, and I like to have a little bit of what I call it I don't even know what I call it. I like a little flutter, I suppose is the word I would use. I don't bet a lot, you know. I don't do. That's not my way. But I am now looking after tonight's game. Right, I am now looking at their website, and you can get onto it by scanning that QR code on the screen. They've got a really good welcome offer for new customers, and that is if you bet £10, you get £20 in free bets. So go and check that out. You do need to be over the age of 18 to use it, and always do it responsibly. Always do it responsibly. If it's something that you don't enjoy or don't want to do, don't do it. If you don't have the money for it, don't do it. That's why I only do little small amounts, because I can afford to lose it, and it doesn't really matter. I'd rather have a little £5 flutter on a game than spend it on some food that ain't too good for me, as an example. You get my point, right? So that's just me in my personal world. But I am now looking at these odds. I am now on Bally Bet's website, and I'm now looking at the weekend. And I think I'm going to do it, you know. I think I'm going to put a little bit. I'm going to put a bet on now, live on the air, actually. I'm going to do it. I'm actually going to share it with you guys on the screen as well, so you can see. Let me just get this up. How do I do this? This is me when I'm a bit of technophobe. Right, it's up on the screen, as you can see now. And I'm going to the game. I'm clicking on the game. I'm clicking on it. I'm going to go to the full-time result. And I am going to go with Liverpool. I'm only going to do £5, but there it is for me. £5 bet. Boom, it's locked in on Liverpool winning at the Etihad this weekend. Let me know your thoughts on that. Let me know in the comment section below, people. I'd love to get your thoughts and your feelings. Now I'm going to jump into some of your comments before I bring the panel out on tonight's show as well. Let's have a little look here at what you guys are saying in the chats. Let's get this up on the screen. Breaking news: set pieces now saving football, says Jamie Carragher. That's one of the reasons why I was kind of. I also said on a few shows, like, people have got to stop calling out set pieces because they're going to end up scoring some really, really good set pieces and important set pieces, and then they're sort of stuck. Oh no, I can't celebrate. It's why sometimes drop the agendas and enjoy football. Sam made so much noise about our set pieces that they heard him all the way to Prague. Keep whining, Don, he says here. This Madrid team will get spanked by Arsenal again. Listen, I'm not going to judge Madrid overall. I've seen them in a few La Liga games this season and been thoroughly impressed. But what was in my mind tonight was this element of, like, Liverpool, I don't even think are at the races fully yet. I think you're getting back to that level. And I think that the scoreline flattered Real Madrid. The English teams, you've got Bayern Munich, who look great tonight. You've got PSG that we know can purr. Outside of that, the English teams who really do well this year, outside of those two teams. A goal from set piece, does it count, Terry? Obviously, I know it's a joke, but of course it does. Where are the slot out fans at now? Have patience. Trent should have stayed on the bench. Yeah, I didn't see any point in bringing Trent on. I saw no point in bringing him on. I don't think it served any purpose whatsoever. I thought it was a really, really crazy decision to subject him to that for a few minutes. Mental. So I guess Liverpool needed a set piece goal after all. Not saying we're back after 2 wins because we ain't Arsenal fans, but did that gimmick every few months for the last 3 seasons and won nothing. But the thing is, I don't think it is a gimmick. Just forget Arsenal for a minute. Don't make it about Arsenal. It's not a gimmick. You're a team that won the Premier League last year. You're a team that has won multiple trophies in the last 4 or 5 years. This core of your team and lots of these players. You had a poor start to the season and then you went on a bad run. I just think you're getting back into form. And I don't think it'd be weird to say it. And if you're watching Liverpool in the last 2 matches and not noticing that there's been just subtle changes to the shape and the system in and out of possession, and a handful of players have improved and are getting back to form, we're 10 games into a campaign. You're getting back to your best. Your season's well and truly on, no doubt. Someone checked Connor Bradley's pockets for Vinny Jr. Do you know what's really funny? Like, I got called out about 3 or 4 years ago when Vinny was cooking and he was telling me the best in the world. And he probably was the best in the world at that time in many people's eyes. But he is a player that so regularly doesn't impress me. And I'm taking nothing away from Connor Bradley at all. He pocketed him. He was fantastic. I think he did the same to him last season as well. But I was watching Vinny Jr. loads of times where he had opportunities to take his man on and he just didn't bother. And you will know if you watch the Terrace enough, that type of behavior infuriates me. But yeah, Connor Bradley tonight absolutely schooled him at every single level. Before we touch on the situation with... bring the panel out. I wanted to mention Spurs tonight, actually. And I wanted to mention Spurs as well. And I didn't have their game on initially, mainly because I didn't realize they were on. That's not, I'm not even being disrespectful. And I saw it went up, the score came up, said 2-0. I said, oh God, why did I not realize they were playing? Anyway, I stuck the game on. And just as I put the game on, Brennan Johnson got sent off. And I thought, oh, this will be interesting to see if they can hang on. They were amazing. And I saw Mickey van der Ven tonight score. I don't think anybody's going to score a better goal in the Champions League than him this season. Picks it up, edge of his own box, dribbles past, powers past 2 or 3, dribbles past another, comes in on goal and scores like he's a season number 9. There are number 9s in the Premier League. I don't know if they could score that goal. Phenomenal. Paulinho makes it 4-0. And excellent. Another excellent result for Thomas Frank. I don't understand the calls for him to be sacked. I find them so premature. I think there are so many delusions of grandeur going on at Tottenham, and Tottenham fans have been DMing me today and calling me out for that and all sorts. And from my point of view and from my perspective, I looked at it and just thought to myself, you're joking, aren't you? Thomas Frank has you currently performing in the Champions League and Premier League. Yes, there's been some bad results, but overall, he's got an average Spurs squad, okay, doing very, very well. I don't understand the frustration that Spurs fans have overall. I get the games where you've been bad, calling it out, but overall, I thought Spurs, again, I didn't watch the whole game. I only watched from the red card onwards, and Spurs were absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic on every single level. So well done to Tottenham Hotspur tonight. Thoroughly deserved their victory. And I don't actually know where that puts them in the standings. Although I can get the standings on my screen here. Actually, let me just click these buttons. They should go onto my screen. Let me just put my screen in big so I can see it myself because it's minimized right now. The Spurs, they're sitting 7th place, and I know there's games to be played tomorrow. You can see the league table there, but they're in a very good position, Tottenham. They're in a very, very good position indeed. You know, they've got to be in, what is it, the top 24, is it, or something, to make sure you're in the playoffs. They're not going to drop below those teams that you can see down there. Oh, by God, look at Bayer Leverkusen. They got to win tomorrow, but they're going to be all right. Spurs, they're going to get into the knockout stages, in my humble opinion, of it. They might have to go through the playoffs, but they're going to be there or thereabouts. And I don't even mean this to sound horrible. I don't know what more Tottenham would be. You actually look at where they sit right now. Look at the people that, I know it will change a bit tomorrow when Dortmund, City, and everybody else plays. But look at the teams they're sitting up there with and having to go at their manager. I just find it staggering. I find it absolutely staggering on every single level. I really do. Some of you, why are so many people triggered tonight in the chat? I don't understand it. What's wrong with everybody? By the way, if you're watching the stream, hit the like button, please. I know you might not be happy that Liverpool have won the game, but support the platform, please, and give it a like. I weren't playing. Ain't me. Ain't my fault. Just get it done, please, people. Right, I'm going to bring the panel on now to have their say, because quite a lot to speak about this evening. Ooh, let me turn my earphones down so I can hear what's going on tonight. Let me move my little widget off my screen. Let me do this as well. Who we got here? We got Tom. We got Samuel. We got Ram with me. Evening, gentlemen. Congratulations on your victory tonight. Very, very big win in the grand scheme of your season, but it's always big when you play Real Madrid, no matter what's going on. And Tom, you've been frustrated so far this season, but it did feel more like yourselves tonight. How were you able to overpower and outclass Real Madrid this evening the way you did?
The manager got it spot on. The players now seem to finally understand each other and the setup and what they need to do with each other, which goes a long way. And we controlled that game the whole way through. The one thing we haven't had this season is control. And Aston Villa and Real Madrid tonight, we've had control. They had the Bellingham chance at the end of the first half, which Mount actually saves it as near post, and that's it. Don't remember anything else he done. They couldn't do anything. Anytime they tried, they give it to Vinicius Jr. and Conor Bradley would bully him. And then Vinicius Jr. would go down holding a random body part and try and claim a foul. but the biggest thing for me, and I think the biggest thing the last couple of games and why I think we are now turning that corner is the players seem to finally understand, and they're back to understanding what they need to do. McAllister is the biggest example of that. He looked lost at the start of the season. He looked off the pace. We didn't really know what his role was in the team. Didn't know what he was doing. And then this last two games, Aston Villa and Real Madrid, he scores tonight. He's brilliant again tonight, winning his duels, winning his tackles, making the correct decision on the ball as well. Anytime he's getting the ball, he's not, sending aimless balls up or trying to rush the game. He's being calm on the ball. We're able to bypass the press a lot. We're able to get into dangerous positions. We won 1-0. We should have won 3-0, 3 or 4. The chances we created, we should have won 3 or 4. Though Florian Wirtz looked brilliant tonight. Again, people, because he costs so much money and because he's this attacking midfielder, people are going to have their ideas of what he should be. Today was a brilliant Florian Wirtz performance. He should have got an assist. Szoboszlai should be scoring the chance he gives him. But the work he done, the quality he showed on the ball, the composure he showed, that was all needed. And I do think that these two games are the turning point. I said last week that I think the run where we play Villa, Real Madrid, and Man City is the turning point for us. I think we'll come out of them games really well, and then we'll just kick on from there. And so far, we've come out of both these games really well with controlling the games. There's a good feeling around what we're doing defensively and going forwards. Back-to-back clean sheets for the first time all season. It feels like I know we did against Arsenal and Burnley. But this feels like the first time we got back-to-back clean sheets.
This actually feels like clean sheets. Feels like a clean sheet.
So I'm very happy with what's going on. You know, this just goes to show you, anyone who's sitting there after a bad month going, Arnie Slot out, blows my mind. It blows my mind. This is a genuine top man.
The two men to your left, mate.
Hey! Don't put me in that category.
This is a top manager. This is a top manager who, once again, we're talking about one of the top European teams coming to Anfield, or us facing one of our top European teams, and leaving with the win, having been the better team. This isn't normal. Andoni, I have all the respect for him. Andoni Iraola does not win this game in the way Arnie Slot won it today. What you saw today was a tactical masterclass by one of the best managers in the world, who limited everything Real Madrid can do and exemplified everything we can do well. And one more guy I want to mention, Dominik Szoboszlai again. Oh my God, get him a new contract as soon as possible. He's the gold standard for the midfielder in world football at the minute. Every single phase of the game, he's massive. He got the assist today. Defensively, he matched up to Bellingham and bullied Bellingham across the whole 90 minutes. He could have scored 2 or 3, bar some really good Thibaut Courtois saves. Throughout the whole season, he's been consistently good, but these last couple of games, especially as we've improved, I've just seen another level to him. So I can't be more happy with Dominik Szoboszlai at the minute. He's exceptional, absolutely exceptional. And he's got to be one of the ones that we consider for the captain after Van Dijk goes.
100%.
No, he was very good tonight. I mean, had it not been for the brilliance of Thibaut Courtois, he probably scores a few goals. Probably should have scored the chance Wirtx set up for him. But I wanted to ask you, Tom, and open to the panel on this. Did it feel like Wirtx arrived tonight as well?
I don't. When we say arrived, I don't think. I think tonight was his best performance, but I think he arrived at Frankfurt. I think Frankfurt was the one where everyone sort of went, that's the Florian Wirtz ball. Tonight, I think you just saw what a Florian Wirtz in Liverpool looks like. So Frankfurt was a really good Florian Wirtz performance. I think tonight you saw this was a really good Florian Wirtz performance for what it's going to be at Liverpool for the time being. He's not going to be able to do what he done at Frankfurt, where there's all the freedom and where there's all the space for him to operate in against these German teams. It's going to be a lot more congested. He's battling with different players. This team needs different players in different areas, so he's got to adapt to that. But I think tonight you saw what Florian Wirtz's future, at least for this year, looks like at Liverpool Football Club, getting that free-ish roll off the left, so we don't give up any midfield control, which is massively important, but you're still able to see him operating everywhere, and you can see the sides of his game that maybe we didn't know we were buying, but we've bought the work rate. There was a moment in the first half where he goes and battles with Dean Huijsen and wins it off Dean Huijsen on the right-hand side corner flag when he's technically supposed to be on the left. But that's the work rate that you've got. So I wouldn't say this was this was a night of realization in that way. But I'd say that this is what people need to understand is going to be a Florian Wirtz at Liverpool type of performance. It's not what people expect, but it's what it's going to be, at least for this year. And if this is the standard of what it's going to be for this year, we could have done a hell of a lot worse.
No, I understand that. Samuel, I want to ask you about another player as well. I mean, you touched on Wirtz as well, but Connor Bradley tonight, Sam. A little up and down, a little bit in and out of the team this season, but up against one of the best wingers in the world in most people's eyes, and he made Vinny Jr. look like chopped liver tonight.
I mean, like, when it comes to Connor Bradley, he has these kind of performances where he steps up. For me, he's one of those, he does get injured quite a lot, and it's like he's one of those players that needs momentum. He needs a run of games to get into it. And Connor Bradley was absolutely brilliant today. I can't like. Actually, the two fullbacks, Robertson and Connor Bradley, were both brilliant, absolutely brilliant. They understood the assignment, and I think the system helps. We went back to the system that I said this last week. We went back to the system that we had the beginning of last season. And when we went on that run between October to December, that really helped us with the title win. Now he's gone back to the system that everybody knows. You got the midfield helping out as well, where you got, I'll call it the workhorse midfield, where you got Gravenberch, McAllister and Szoboszlai just running all over the pitch, helping out. And then you had the balance of Ekitike, Salah and Wirtx. So yeah, no, Conor Bradley was absolutely brilliant tonight. The way he shut off Vinny Jr. He didn't, one thing I liked is that he didn't bite on Vinny Jr. a lot of Vinny Jr.'s like fakes, jinx and stuff like that, but he just kept composed. And also Robertson as well, he was just like, again, as I said, he's past his best, but it was more of like, it was a old man's performance, I'll call it. It's one of those ones where it was very intelligent. He was doing things at the right times, and he was just showing it how it's done. One thing I would say is that I know people were saying, oh, where's the slot outers now? I know this one super chat said, oh, have patience. I'm not going to have patience with a manager that is making the wrong system, that is losing. Even Slot has admitted his mistakes and went back to a system that we did last season that works. So if Slot is doing that now and we're going and we're winning and the players are gelling together, then 100% keep on going on. And I did say Slot out if he keeps on going on with that system that he had before that did not work. I mean, me, Tom, Husam had back and forth about what kind of system works and stuff like that. But we all knew it was the system that wasn't working. Now you can clearly see. Man City, I'm still keeping my feet on the ground with Man City. I just want my players to get momentum, just build up some momentum, build up some wins, and we'll see what we do against Man City. The only question I still do have is that with Real Madrid, they try to play football. Aston Villa will try to play football. Man City will also try to play football. I'm just waiting to see we play against a team that will sit back and just do long balls. I just want to see how we deal against that personally. But brilliant performance. I'm smiling. I'm enjoying Liverpool playing now. I'm actually enjoying it now. And let's keep this winning run. Let's just keep this winning run. Let's get this momentum going.
I suppose the one thing
we're seeing long balls today, though.
Yeah, that's the thing.
In the last two games, it's not like we haven't been facing them. I know that's a narrative that's there. Yes, the teams we've played have been slightly different in the fact that they do want to build out from the back. Yeah. So we're not facing as many, but we are still facing them. What's happening now is we are dealing with them a lot better. So even today, yes, Mbappe less so than Ollie Watkins because Watkins is a bit taller than that. But when they're playing these long balls into the channel, we're winning the first contact, but we're now we're now surrounding the ball. So if it's there to be won for the second ball, we're winning it now. We won't do that. That was ultimately the only problem we had before.
I do think that
a lot of first contact, it was just we weren't winning the second balls. These last two games, bar the ones where Konate or Van Dijk had it miles back up the pitch, where at that point it's not a problem because you can get back into a shape. The ones where it's like one and it's bouncing back into a dangerous area. Szoboszlai, Gravenberch, or especially McAllister, because he's now on it these last two games. They're getting hold of the second ball. And all that's happening then is the opposition are going, we can't keep going. We can't keep doing these long balls. We can't keep looking back and forth and back and forth. So I think there is that side of it which has improved, albeit we haven't faced one of these long ball teams that we've struggled against.
I would say in response to that, Terry actually did kind of touch on it. We're playing a kind of a mid block. The defense has come back a little bit. The midfield has also stayed back a little bit more. So when we have these long balls and Van Dijk, listen, when we were struggling, Van Dijk and Konate were winning most of the balls anyway. It was just the second ball that we weren't winning. So
I think it's sorry. Yeah, go on, carry on. Finish the point. Sorry.
I was gonna say my thing is more of when we play against like Crystal Palace and they have the physical guys like Mateta who's able to bring the ball down a lot better, or like we play against Brentford who are able to be more physical but able to anticipate and just a little bit faster. How it's not really a criticism. I just want to see us play against these teams where we've historically struggled against.
I think what Tom makes a good point is that whenever if you do win the first ball, which we did most of the time tonight, there's always someone available for the second ball. And for a situation like Mateta, instead of it being a 1v1, which kind of player like Mateta thrives upon, we actually have it on a 2v1, where someone else will be able to assist a Konate or Van Dijk if they want to go up against Mateta. So that's the thing, the defensive organization, and I saw it a lot more prominent today compared to Aston Villa. Just us getting back into position, having the situational awareness to know when it's safe to play out from the back and when it's safe just to boot it along. Having that around the team is just fantastic.
But that's why, though, Ram, I didn't at the time, and I still don't now. That's why I didn't buy that everything wrong with the system. It was still player decisions. In that regard, some of it is certain players just playing better. You cannot lie that Konate in the last 3 games hasn't looked more like Konate compared to the first
100%.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think what also happens is because you're now not emptying your midfield, you're playing with a double pivot rather than a single pivot, and it's one fullback up, one fullback down. Teams aren't going as long because there isn't the space to hit. So teams look at it and go, the same as you're now saying you're making better decisions. Teams are looking up and they're seeing 3 or 4 players where there's their one guy. Well, what's the point of hitting it long? Where what Man United were able to do and what other teams were able to do is go, right, Mbumo's got all that space and no fullback and no midfielder there. Bang, knock it out into the channel. The centre-back may come out, but that means there's loads of open space for a striker to run into. So those are the system elements. And then you've got players that are performing better in their actual roles and not making as many mistakes. And you're also doing something. You're scoring more of your chances. Maybe not tonight because of Courtois. So those were the 3 things as to why you were losing those games. And all 3 things are being addressed. So I'm not surprised as someone who, although I hate Liverpool as a United fan, I'm not surprised you're winning because the 3 things that were costing you goals or stopping you from scoring have been changed. It's like I say, it's, you started breathing again. Therefore, your lips ain't blue.
Can I just
stop being stubborn? Just actually make the system work.
So go on, Bram. What are you going to say, bro?
I was just going to I want to touch upon it because Tom talked about him very briefly, but I think it needs to be spoken about Dominik Szoboszlai and how good this guy's been for Liverpool this entire season. Even when we've been playing poorly, he's been the guy that's been putting out performances left, right, and centre. And everyone will criticize him for that chance. And for me personally, I put all credit to Courtois in that moment.
I can't lie, it was a good save.
It was
a very good save.
It was. There's a reason why in the last couple of weeks when Arsenal fans talk about Raya being one of the best in the world, I'm saying there's a reason why Courtois and Alisson are the top 2, and there's a level. Those are the levels that proved why Courtois is with Alisson as the 2 best goalkeepers in the world. Only Alisson and Courtois can do those saves. That's as simple as that. But Szoboszlai just dominating the midfield. I saw the guy play at 6 and spray balls left, right, and centre. And he's really it's almost like a coming of age for him this season, where he sort of found a place in his team. He's become a leader in that midfield. And now he's getting the GA. And everyone's talking about set piece FC. He's one of the reasons why we are scoring a lot of set pieces. His delivery, his pinpoint accuracy is just out of this world. We didn't see it a lot last season and the season before, but this season, boy, he's just turned up to another level, man. And to be fair, he could be an argument for one of the best midfielders in the Premier League this season. And he's showing it week in, week out. And he hasn't put a foot wrong this season. Even when he's asked to play as a right back, he's still putting out brilliant performances, man of the match performances as well. Also, so credit to him, man.
Just quickly, I also believe that Szoboszlai, the difference between last season and this season is that Szoboszlai doesn't have the emphasis of being a creator.
Someone has an echo, guys. It can't be just me.
Yeah, there is an echo.
Someone goes like this. Yeah.
I think it's stopped now.
No, that's just
Go on, carry on. Lou hasn't got reduced mic background noise ticked off for her. There we go. It's all good. So, StreamYard's rubbish. Sometimes it...
Like you, I'm just in my kitchen, all right, lads.
No, literally, I was just going to say before Husam goes, is that I actually think that the emphasis of Szoboszlai creating for the front three. It's not focused as much. It's more focused of him being the engine of the midfield, and that's why he's doing so well, because he's running about doing what he can, and then when he gets the ball, he's making decisions. Okay, I can shoot here, I can pass here, I can do, because you got Wirtx, you got Ekitike, you got Salah, better creators, better players of the ball in the final third that can create. So he doesn't have to focus on that much. It's more just getting the ball to them and just running around being the engine. But yeah.
I hear. I'm going to speak to Sam in a minute. I just looked at the percentages just for a laugh. So in the Champions League, 55% of Liverpool's goals have been from set pieces. In the Premier League, 55% of Arsenal's goals have been from set pieces. It's fucking beautiful. I love football, man. I love this stuff. I love it. I love it. I love it. Lou, before I go to Sam, because you've been waiting a while, Lou, what are you saying, Lou?
I'm actually just a wee bit devastated. And not only am I traumatized by the fact that Liverpool won and made that look so easy, but I'm also traumatized by Husam's singing. And there was a point when Liverpool were losing and losing and losing, and you were doing montages, and he looked like he was going to cry, and he was so sad. And I was starting to feel really sorry for him, even though he's a Liverpool fan. And about halfway through that watch along, I just thought, you know what? I prefer him when he's sad because he's quieter. But apart from the fact that Sam traumatized me by singing in that watch along, actually, like, if I just try and take my United hat off for a minute, Liverpool were very good. If it wasn't for Courtois, that could have been really embarrassing for Real Madrid. And I have to say that's not what I expected going in, considering the only win they've had in the last however many games is Villa. That's not how I expected them to face Real Madrid. And I know Europe's different, and I know the standards aren't as good, but bloody hell. And so it just made me a little bit sad as a rival fan, but I didn't get on and have a chat with anyone at the weekend. So I said, sure, look, I'd show my face since I went through the trauma of watching the whole thing. But they did really, really well. I'll be interested to see if it does translate back into the Premier League against a team like City, though.
Yeah, I mean, that's it's the City away though. Let me ask you this, Lou. I know you're a rival here, but City away is one of those games. You could be in the best form of your life and lose. You could be playing awfully and win. Is it really a barometer? Is it an acid test, or is it could they lose that game but then come back after the international break and win 5, 6, 7 on the bounce? Like,
Yeah. No, I don't think it's necessarily a barometer, but it would be nice after kind of the run they've had, because even at the start of the season when they were getting the results, they weren't getting the performances. Then they weren't getting the results or the performances. So while I don't think City is a barometer for, okay, if they don't win against City, that's it, they're on shit street again, I do think it would be nice for them. Do you know what I mean? I think it would be a little bit of a boost. It's the same as us when we go against Spurs. If we don't beat Spurs, our season isn't over. But I mean, after what Spurs did to us last season, it would be really bloody nice to beat them. And I think that's where it's at. It's like a cherry. It's a little bit of a boost. It's nice to see it. And as I said, people will differentiate between Europe and the Prem, even if it is Real Madrid. So I think it's a little bit extra for them. It shows that they're serious, and it might stop the Arsenal fans. I honestly, as a rival, I really dislike Liverpool, but some of the Arsenal fans, and Anton, I am looking at you if you're listening.
He said in the group chat earlier, Anton, he said we're joint top with Bayern. I had a bit of a laugh saying, well, only one team can be top. And he's like, that'll be sorted out in a few weeks. So he's very, very, very confident that not only are Arsenal going to beat them, but like prove a point as well. But Champions League's a different kettle of fish to me in terms of it. And what I mean by that is last year we all saw it, didn't we, with PSG in the first 4 or 5 games, they looked like they could go out in the knockout stages, and they went on to be brilliant. Like PSG in this season's Champions League have looked a bit scrappy at times. I thought today looked really poor until they were up against 10 men. But I wouldn't be writing them off at this stage completely, because they can turn it around. And there's a long way. It's like with Liverpool. You know, I didn't write off any of their season. I still don't think they're out of the title race like a lot of people do. I think that's all of that kind of conversation, I think, is completely premature, even though Arsenal are most people's favourites. So, yeah, it's going to be a real interesting one. Sam, It's nice to see you, mate. It's good to see you after a couple of wins, and you're smiling and you look less stressed, and it is no longer one pass is all it takes. It's all good, but why were Liverpool so good tonight, in your opinion, mate?
First of all, Lou, what happens on the Husam watch along remains on the Husam watch along. Thank you very much. You get me. You don't have to say this stuff over here. Let me breathe. But today, first of all, Slot masterclass of tactical performance today. He was just like, Madrid, you can have the ball. We're just going to press you to pieces. And at the same time, we're going to press the correct areas. And we're going to sit back. We're going to sit back deep. And we're going to defend really well. Arne Slot is the reason why we have changed things around. Just like he's the reason why we fell off. My opinions are the same. I haven't changed it. Even the individual performance, I was listening when you guys were speaking. Even like Konate's individual performance. Today, he didn't have to face Mbappe at halfway line, when Mbappe is significantly quicker than him. Every time he faced Mbappe, it was in areas that Konate will be comfortable with. It was always in areas that Konate was going to basically cook Mbappe in. So that for me is something that is very important. I think Slot changed it around. I think he changed the way that we play. When the lineups first came out, I was really happy, but the only thing that worried me was Wirtx left wing, because I don't think he can actually play left wing. Like I hated watching him left wing. Like the couple of times we tried it, but today it just worked. It just worked to perfection, to be honest with you. And he was one of our better players. And to be honest with you, I don't think a single player deserves any bad like crap today. All 11 players were just incredible.
Alexander-Arnold. That's who
You don't play
deserves
for
it.
us no more.
I'm talking
You
about
don't play for
Salah.
us
I
no
don't
more.
care. I don't
I'm
care.
about Liverpool
You
players.
don't play
Liverpool
for us
players.
anymore.
He doesn't play for us anymore. Get over it.
He wishes he does, though. He wishes he did.
Of
That's a
course,
different
of course,
conversation.
because he's on the bench right now. Anyway, Mo, 5 successful dribbles. You get me? 9 dribbles in 2 games, bro. What is this guy on? Finally, he woke up. Let's go. I think, jokes aside, though, I think once again, Dominik Szoboszlai, I'm in love with this guy. He's been like, if I have to give someone like player of the season, I'm giving him Liverpool player of the season tomorrow, immediately. Like he's just been our player of the year, and he's unbelievable. McAllister, my midfielder. I love Alexis McAllister, and today once again he performed really well. Robertson, hi Andy. You know, we have had some bad moments with each other. We've had some rocky relationship where I said that Simicats is better than you, but today he rolled back the years. He performed really well. And Connor Bradley is going to empty Vinicius Jr. out his pocket. I'm sorry. Like, if there is ever a game that anyone can claim that someone was pocketed in, it's today. Bradley absolutely pocketed the fuck out of Vinny Jr. Vinny Jr. was in his pocket all
Yeah, but he should have had a penalty, though, Vinny Jr., when he hit him in the face. I'm joking. I'm joking.
I was
I'm
so
joking.
mad when he dived for that. I was legitimately so mad when he dived for that. But look, here's the thing. Today, Mbappe, Vinicius Jr., Rodrigo, Arda Güler, Valverde, Camavinga, Jude Bellingham pulled up to Anfield and had one big chance all game. The way that we've been defending has been absolutely incredible. I think this is key here, because it's very easy to put the blame on forwards and to put the blame on the midfielders and blah, blah, blah. But the way that we're defending structurally, and this is all on Slot, the way that we defend structurally is so much more intelligent now. We're not giving all these fast, pacey wingers all the space like we did with even Kevin Schade away at Brentford, or Igor away at Brentford. We're not even giving them the space to counterattack in a crazy way. And I think this is very important for us. So for me, Arne Slot deserves massive credit. The players were all warriors today, deserve a lot of credit as well. And I don't have a bad word to say about anyone. Now, the set piece thing, of course, it's the usual cry arses that's crying about the whole set piece thing, because Arsenal fans are just very sensitive. The difference between Liverpool
Is that
and...
normally you crying about the set piece thing, though?
No, I'm not. No, I never cried about it.
I'm speaking to the chat here.
Nah.
I never cried about set pieces. The difference with Liverpool is we also had 1.68 XG from open play. And Lou mentioned it when she was speaking. If it wasn't for Courtois, this game ends 3-0, like legit. So, you know, there's 2 players I just never want to see again. Thibaut Courtois and Ismail Assar. Like, please, can we just not play both of you again? One guy turns into Maradona, and the other guy just, I don't know.
And Mbeumo.
Courtois is always on
And
some
Llorente.
like,
You want to know
the funniest part about the McAllister goal? That was probably the easiest save we had to make from all of them. That was
Yeah,
probably
just-
the
I was
easiest
gonna say it was
thing.
literally-
it was a bullet. It was a
Comfortable
bullet.
height
header.
right here. And
Mm.
when he saved the Ekitike header and before that the Virgil header, I was like, guys, what the hell is this? Like, actually, what the hell is this? I was like, what is Courtois on today? And thank God we ended up scoring because I'd have lost my shit had we not scored.
That's not even on. It's the one when he's 1-0 down. You don't need to be doing all that at 1-0 down. Just let the
Yeah.
second one go in.
Yeah.
The one
And
from
everything else looks
Szoboszlai,
worse.
oh my God. Oh my God, the one from Szoboszlai. What the hell?
Yeah, the 1v1.
What the hell was
But
that?
that's
That was
but that's why set pieces are so important in football, and it's only we all know why everyone's suddenly had a bee in their bonnet about it, and it's because a certain team scores them. But that's what happens sometimes. And ironically, Arsenal versus Newcastle was identical. Nick Pope save, bang from a set piece. You need them, and you guys have actually. I actually also feel that if your set pieces have been better this season, defensively and in attack in the Prem, I still think in the Premier League you only have one from a set piece. If you had more goals from set pieces, you'd be much closer to Arsenal. Actually, look at Newcastle this season. Only 5 goals from open play so far, but they only have 3 from set pieces. Lots of clubs that have been moaning about the set pieces. I think part of it is because they've not been scoring a lot from set pieces because they changed games, and I get it. And set pieces have been a big friend to you guys in the league, because I don't know if you would have scored an open play today. Genuinely, like, not because you weren't good enough to, but Courtois was doing these things, blocks were going in, and it's part and parcel of football, man. And you know, you're if you could start making your set pieces work more in the Premier League now, you're going to yield an extra 5 to 10 points in the season from it, and who knows what that could give you guys. Do you feel they've turned a corner now, Husam? Overall, do you look at it now and go, I'm not saying you're going to win the league. I'm talking about performances and consistency. That is all I'm asking for. Do you feel like the corner's been turned?
Say it, man.
This Sunday. Rami, you were literally depressed on the Saturday match reaction. I had to wake you up from your sad trauma that you were going through.
I'm happy today, bro. I'm happy today.
It depends on
Saturday?
Sunday, man. It depends. Yeah, this guy was. You should have seen Ram on the match reaction on Saturday. He was fucking miserable. I had to come in here and go like, "Why are you so miserable, bro?"
Why were you
Yeah,
sad?
2-0 clean
Oh
sheet.
my
0
God! Stop
chance for us to win.
hyperbolizing the situation.
You just sat here
bro.
cry arsing.
I was just
Anyway,
like, look, I saw Frankfurt.
Yeah.
I want to see what happens at Madrid. That's it. And I'm
So
as you can see, I'm very happy.
No, it's fine. You doubted Arnie's loss. You doubted your league winning manager.
You
Oh,
not
yeah.
take away
Tom,
that
please
Real
don't do
Madrid
this, bro.
being so
Don't do this.
overconfident.
the
Real
one that
Madrid
was
is
cop
so
out.
overconfident. Their players expect to win. They always expect to win.
Well,
They're very
they think it's a
overconfident.
God-given
You don't
right.
think that helped you? Like, not many Premier League teams are going to go into a match against Liverpool with the same mindset that Real Madrid players went into this game with. So you're going to be thinking something different.
Potentially, I think it helped us up until the point where they stopped believing that. So for the first 20-25 minutes, I think they believed that it was just a God-given right. They're Real Madrid. It's the Champions League. We're going to win a football match. And then they got absolutely nothing out of us for 25 minutes at the start. They got nothing out of us all game. But for 25 minutes, they got nothing out of us. And we were knocking on the door. And the moment Courtois had to make that first good save, I think that was when they went, oh, fuck, we're in a
that
fight here.
Szoboszlai one was a joke. Honestly, it was actually a joke. When you
But
think about
they
it.
never turned up for the fight. There was no sort. You know, like in games, teams will sit there and go, "Fuck, okay, we got to wake up now," and then they'll have a 10-minute burst where they're really sort of winning every duel, and you're sitting there going, "Okay, here we go, we poked the bear now." That never happened for them. They just never turned up.
Do you ever sometimes have these moments of thoughts? A few of the Arsenal fans said it in the chat after their game. They were really happy that Marino scored these goals, and I'm sure you're happy that like Szoboszlai got he didn't score but got the chance that he did. Did any of you not think, oh, why haven't we created that for Isak since he's been in the team yet? Like that kind of chance, because a lot of the Gooners are like that first goal for Marino tonight. They were like, we've created that once in about 9 games for Gyökeres. Marino's on the pitch for a few minutes and bang, he gets that opportunity. Football can be weird like that sometimes. I feel like it just.
But in the same breath, though, that doesn't happen. That chance doesn't get created if it's not Ekitike that's up front, because Ekitike,
yeah, good point,
gets the ball in and plays it around the corner. So it might have been a case of, if Isak's there, he buries it.
Can I ask you a question as well? Do you think it's plausible that if Isak didn't pick up his injury, the form and system might not have changed? Do you think that's possible?
No.
I think because of how poor
if Isak played today, here's the thing. I actually, hey, unpopular opinion. I actually think if there is any outfield player to criticize a bit is probably Ekitike a little bit, because I'm like it was just, he was doing like the
And he was
dribbling
frustrating.
stuff.
Too saucy.
Yeah, he was
Too
frustrating in
saucy.
terms of like the final pass or something, you know. And if Isak was on the pitch today, I think we would have had a bigger chance of scoring an open play goal.
He would have gotten one or two really big chances today.
Like, you see the Wirtx pass
runs
to
were there to be made.
Szoboszlai. Isak will probably be in that area.
No, I don't know.
I
I don't know, because there's so many. It's always about balance in the team. Like, if you take out Ekitike, you won't have him dropping deep, so you won't have the likes of Szoboszlai making the runs in behind the defense. Like, it's just it works pass and parcel. I feel like if you're gonna take something out, you're gonna lose something as well as
I mean, you can just look at the Atletico Madrid game, and then you just see, because for me,
Spurs didn't play left wing though.
Yeah, he didn't play left wing, but
He
was
barely played left wing today, though, when we had the ball.
Yeah, he hardly played.
It was
left
a free
wing.
role.
He was all over the place. Well, he was in the middle. He was on the right. He got the free role. So, if you look at the Atletico Madrid game, even though we conceded 2, for me, attacking wise, especially with Wirtx and Isak, that was probably their best game together. Like, with the amount
one of the only games they've actually played together.
Stop picking the skin, man.
To be fair.
No, I'm trying not to. It's an itching, but I'm trying not to make it. It itches. It itches. Oh, I gotta like touch it like this. This looks weird, doesn't it, on camera? What are you doing, Terry?
Can I just say one more thing?
Well, it didn't look any weirder than the peg the other day. Like, I mean, you're pegging yourself on string, Terry.
My peg. Yeah, I had to the other day. I couldn't have anything touch it. It hurt so. And then my daughter, though, she come up to it in the middle of the. My brother was here, and I'm standing there. My brother, I see him doing something. I didn't know what he was doing. Like, he's pointing at my arm. My daughter went slap. I just looked at her and said, Freya, you're so lucky you're a girl. Because if you were a boy, it'd be a different story right now. People's elbow. But yes, I'm going to jump to some super chats for a second because I don't want to forget some of these. This year says Bayern have won 16 out of 16 games this season. Best team in the world. Arsenal versus Bayern next Champions League round is going to be great company cooking. There's a lot of truth in that, in terms of it's going to be a great game. The one thing I don't like about this new format is I always find it hard to focus because there's so many fucking games on. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just like when I grew up as a kid watching the Champions League, there's only ever 2 teams in it, 2 English teams in it, and it was one each night, right? So you'd always get to watch it. Now, I didn't even know Spurs were playing tonight. I actually forgot Spurs were playing. None of their fans have turned up again for like the 5th match reaction in a row. They're a weird bunch, I tell you, Spurs fans. Tom, please have shame. Everyone's entitled to their opinion on Slot. Let's not forget you are the Jurgen.
Yes.
When he tried that Slot thing with me, man, I swear to God, I've got receipts on that boy, bro. I swear.
Yeah, I mean, I swear, I do think he was slot out a week ago or so. Do you know what a lot of people do though, don't they? They don't say it, but they say everything but. Do you know what I mean? They say everything but I want him to go. But then people, as we discovered today, Lou, some people are just emotional fans. Everywhere you go.
Comment.
Liverpool fans getting excited. You played 2 teams who didn't press your defense, didn't play direct and any long balls, and fouled in playing out the back.
You also failed to beat Liverpool at Anfield, and you failed to press us, and you failed to score a set piece, and you failed to score a corner or a free kick or a throw-in. You get me? This is the problem. You see the problem? This is the issue that I have. Robert was probably watching Straight Facts on Friday, and Terry probably asked Don or Staffy, what do you guys think of Liverpool so far this season? They've got Aston Villa, Madrid next, and Robert would have been in the chat kiki-keying and laughing and going like, ha, 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 ha. Oh my God, Liverpool are finished. And then Liverpool win the 2 games in a row. And he's like, oh, by the way, these 2 teams didn't press Liverpool. Yeah, be quiet. Just learn how to give credit. You made a Man United fan in Lou go like, I don't know if I want Arsenal fans even happy. That's how sad you guys are. Honestly, this guy talking about, oh my God, you failed to get pressed. Congratulations. That has nothing to do with the reason why we won the game. We won the game because of our press, because of our defensive solidity, the way that we set up, how Konate and Van Dijk weren't at halfway line, halfway up the pitch. We surrendered possession and we played counter-attacking football. See, this is the things that you don't know. Go look at the stats. The stats tell you the story that I said. 61% possession of the ball for Real Madrid, 0.4 XG. Liverpool XG, 2.58. Oh my God.
They also
Long balls.
Madrid changed their game. They started to play a lot more direct football in the second half. Like every time I kept seeing the ball, try to go to Vinny, tried to go to Mbappe. Mbappe was going on that left-hand side, trying to 2v1 Conor Bradley. Like they were trying to they tried different areas, and we just nullified them. We nullified them to a T. They couldn't get anywhere near our goal. Like you got to give credit where it's due, man. Got to give credit.
Defending and set pieces are not sustainable, is what Jonathan Kramer says here. What's a performance by Conor Bradley in time for City?
We're
Yeah,
in that game now. Oh my God, what the fuck have we been doing all
no, I've put a little. I know you don't understand, but I put a little bet on you guys winning that game. I put a little bet.
Oh, well,
Little
fuck.
bet.
Thanks,
I
Terry.
was
Little
that's
£5.
it. You are done now.
What's
Terry's
the-
out putting the markers on you.
Yeah, but the jinx don't work like that. It don't.
No,
work
no,
like
no,
that.
no. The jinx works when the Terry jinx works when you say it and you don't mean it. But I actually mean it. It's one of them. I do find it funny though, like that, because most of my Liverpool stuff, even recently, it's like you change that, you'll be okay, calm down. But I've even noticed on socials in the last couple of days, like people that caned me for years about Arsenal being scary are literally doing up videos now where they're like this, going Arsenal are scary. I love this game, man.
No,
I love the
the
YouTube
Terry. The original Terry jinx was Terry making thumbnails of teams winning, and then somehow they end up losing in the last.
No, well, I still do it now. If I want a team to like lose, they're winning with 10 minutes to go. I update everything and go, what a win. Thumbnail's done. I sit again, please jinx it. But in reality, I don't have any effect on it. It's just in your own head, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? It's
You know, you have power. You know,
like the better on loan to Arsenal if you're that much of a jinx. We don't want you anymore. They can have you.
we know you contact the football gods, Terry. We know that.
I do know the football. Me and the football gods are we're on a level, man. Has the Premier League significantly jumped La Liga?
I think it's just a style thing.
Ooh,
It's a
good
style
question.
thing. It's a style thing because you saw it with every La Liga team last season. They struggled against the Premier League. Like United, who won very good last season, absolutely played Athletic Bilbao off the park, and they finished 4th in La Liga, if I'm not mistaken. I think for me, it's just a style thing. The La Liga teams can't handle the pace and power of the Premier League, and if fans don't like to admit it, well, it's true. You just have to face facts. You can live in ignorance, but it's true.
The thing is with this whole thing, I always look at La Liga and I go always like, okay, Madrid, Barca, Atletico, fine. Like whenever I speak about the quality of La Liga, it's the other teams. I always go like, okay, let's put the bottom 10 of the Premier League with the bottom 10 of La Liga and put them in a hypothesis league. Hypothetical league with each other, you know? I think that
European League versus your Premier League. Did we talk about the handball, not handball? Just thinking of Prem referees versus European referees, because there was quite a bit of talk in the group chats, but I don't know if anyone's actually mentioned it. And I'd imagine if the game didn't end the way it did, would have been talking about it.
The thing was, I actually don't think it was a handball. I know that in UEFA they give handballs a lot easier in games. But it was clearly by his body, and he's turned because that's what you naturally do. It did. I actually think that they actually made the right decision. My only issue is
they give that to the Champions League.
Yeah, they do it all the time. That's the problem.
No, not that close to their body though. I don't think.
No, they did it last season with PSG for PSG against Louise Skelly, didn't they?
Yeah, in the Premier League, they never give those. If this was a Premier League match reaction,
I would like. Yeah, you are right. You are right. I mean, I hear you. That's a good point, to be fair. And I mean, in fairness, they did it in the Europa League against Lisandro Martinez a few years ago, which is the same rules, where he actually slid in. His arm was like that. He slid. It hit his thigh, then hit his arm. So yeah, but they just shouldn't be penalties. They're just not. The one in the Arsenal game, the guy's like in the air like this. That is a penalty. That's not natural for your arm to be there. But I saw new Forest fans at the weekend trying to say that Amaz was a penalty, and I'm just laughing the amount of people that agree with them. I'm like, his arm's out by his side because he's jumping, which is normal. The player fouls him and knocks into him, so it spins him round 180 degrees. Then it hits his head and hits his arm, and you think he's handballed it deliberately. Like again, it's interesting, but. Yeah, I suppose in the end it didn't get too much discussion because of that. Just give me just give Mickey the Puskas Award already.
Van
Van
de
der Ven. You guys seen Van der Ven's goal?
You know, I'm gonna watch the replay right now.
Do you know the first thing I said when he scored it? Spurs fans are gonna hate me. First thing I said is, he's got to leave Spurs, man. The first thing I said is he's got. No, but he's a player that's got to leave Spurs, and he's one of those. I think he is a centre back. Now that he's not being made to sprint for 90% of the game and his hamstrings are snapping, this will be the end of his third season at Spurs. 2 years left on his contract. Teams have got to move now.
That's why I don't think. No, I was going to say that's why I don't think any big team would take him, because of the fact that his hamstrings made a bit biscuits now.
Maybe we'll see, but he hasn't had one since Ange's gone.
Yeah, fair point.
That's what I mean. But I think he's a brilliant defender. But that speed, in the modern day game, that speed is just, not for scoring goals. He ain't gonna do that every week, but there's something about it, man. This here says, Ollie, you'll never walk alone. Big up yourself, my friend. I want to thank everyone who has tuned in to the show this evening. It means a great deal to us that you're all here. You're helping us the way that you do. This is going to redirect you to Footy Judge Mo's channel, so please go and support my brother over there, please. It would mean a great deal to us if you could. But until next time, people, take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again very